Presentation today, I'll be talking about expanded awareness through inner silence. Philosophers and great thinkers have spent years in study of the interconnection between the invisible fields of energy and matter and its uniting forces. As we all know, we experience the world of matter with our senses. However, to connect to the realm beyond our senses, we must be in attunement with the principles and laws that help us transcend the realm of matter. Brothers and sisters, in the next slide, I will show you an image and suggest that you perceive and see this image with your eyes closed. Shall we begin? Sit relaxed and close your eyes. See the computer in front of you and note the details of the image I'm projecting. What do you see? What shape is it? What colors do you see? Do you recognize the object? Name it. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. What were your observations? This is an image that was shown during the exercise. Are there any similarities with what you perceived? Let us ponder on the following questions. Awareness. Is awareness limited to the perception of our five senses? Is it possible to perceive things beyond smell, taste, sight, and touch? Can we perceive things before we are conscious of them? We encounter events often that show that our consciousness is not limited to our five senses. We have sometimes been compelled to follow subtle impulses that lead us to surprising favorable outcomes. We have followed our hunches and gut feelings that led us in the right directions and at other times even kept us from danger. While rushing to keep an appointment, we make a wrong turn into an unintended route, only to discover later that the previously intended route had delays. There have been reports of individuals who miss a flight only to discover later of mishaps associated with the missed flight. We tend to attribute these circumstances to luck. Is it really luck? Or is it possible that a higher part of ourselves perceive these mishaps and lead us to take an alternative path? Where do hunches and gut feelings come from? Resident in all of us is a divine essence that is limitless, expansive, intelligent, and knowing. And it is part of the integral all. And due to the interconnectivity with all, our perceptions of event is not limited to time and space when we are tuned with this essence. To experience this divine essence resident in us is to expand our awareness beyond the five senses. But just how do we do that? By turning our focus inward and becoming silent. Our awareness of self is expanded by realizing through inner experience this divine essence and its nature. Learning about our true nature alone is not enough. It has to be experienced within. Only then can we grasp who we truly are. Through inner experience, we are able to attune with the divine essence. In a moment, we'll be guided into our inner silence so that we may experience ourselves. But before we do so, let us explore who we are from an intellectual standpoint. This will help in understanding the interconnection between us and all things. The Rosicrucian ontology states that human is dual in nature. We have a soul and a physical body. The soul is spiritual energy which animates the physical body and impregnates each cell of being. It is an extension of the universal soul which infuses all of creation. Consciousness is an attribute of soul. It has a form of perception and thinking transcending all cerebral faculties. It is for this reason a person in coma continues to think and perceive the environment. As per our teachings, we know that there are three planes of consciousness: the earth, spiritual, and cosmic planes. The spiritual consciousness from the spiritual planes is that divine consciousness united with our earthly consciousness in our bodies. The consciousness from the cosmic planes is the consciousness of the cosmic. It is the divine intelligence and cause of all things that permeates the entire universe. In cosmic consciousness, there is a sense of knowing and of seeing a situation from a cosmic viewpoint. We all have varying degrees of each of this consciousness in us, depending on the level of our study and development. It is the ultimate goal of all of us, a student on the path, on the quest for self-mastery to attain complete cosmic consciousness. Nevertheless, to experience higher levels of consciousness requires elevating our awareness to a higher realm where we are able to transcend the limitations of matter. One of the ways to do this is train the self in proper attunement. Using meditation, we can attune with one or more higher levels of consciousness. In meditation, we realize the various manifestations of self, such as the physical, emotional, psychic, intellectual aspect of self. As we go deeper in our meditation, the self becomes expressed as a dynamic silence, a silence that is so unlimited that any phenomena could psychically manifest in it and be realized. In this silence, all thought and cognition ceases. The mind passes from the consciousness of objects into a state of perfect tranquility. Time and space are absent. Time passes without our knowledge of it. In this silence, the mind is rejuvenated and great clarity and new inspiring ideas may arise. Brothers and sisters, a distinction should be made here between the silence that is brought about by will, such as that which you experience when you stop talking, and this unlimited dynamic silence that results from attuning with the higher consciousness. This type of silence we refer to is a dynamic silence. It is a state of tranquil rest that is not brought about by will, but naturally occurs when we attune with the higher planes of consciousness. In this inner silence, there is a sense of oneness, a realization of all. In the silence, we attune ourselves with the cosmic mind. Cosmic attunement is a pure channel of knowledge and truth, devoid of the delusions and coloring of the objective world. We can also seek knowledge or insight to our personal problems. No matter how difficult a problem is, it can always be resolved through proper cosmic attunement, even though the solutions may not be according to our will. The secret behind attaining good health, happiness, and a fulfilling lifestyle can be found in cosmic attunement. Cosmic attunement should be the primary responsibility of all students on the path. Furthermore, it is important to emphasize consistency in our practice of inner silence. A minimal goal of once a day is recommended by H. Spencer Lewis. It could range from 5 to 30 minutes. This should be the time when our mind is completely at rest. The consciousness, like the body, needs complete rest in order to maintain its health and vitality. Fratres and sorors, we must turn away from seeking our power from outside sources. We must turn our consciousness inwards and seek the inner light and intelligence. By turning our consciousness inwards, we bring our objective mind in contact with the divine consciousness resident within us, which harmonizes with the absolute, the cause of all, the divine essence that permeates all things. Silent meditation is the greatest asset anyone can have in life, for it is a privilege to become one with the divine and divine consciousness. When we learn to go into the silence and attune effectively with the cosmic at least once a day, we will find that not only are many of our problems solved, but other problems are often prevented from coming into our lives. Fratres and sorors, let us proceed with a brief silent meditation to experience our inner selves. Please sit relaxed and close your eyes. Take in a few deep neutral breaths. Bring your attention to your body. Observe the weight of your body on the chair. Notice you're observing your body. Now bring your attention to your thoughts. Observe your thoughts. Notice you are detached from your thoughts. Notice you're observing your thoughts. Now bring your attention to your emotions. Notice what you're feeling. Notice you are detached from your emotions. Notice that you're observing your emotions. Who is this observer? Observing the thoughts, the emotions, and the body. Who is this observer? This consciousness and the background. This consciousness is the same that resides in each one of us. Who is this consciousness? Who am I? Now go deeper into this consciousness, reflecting on the question, who am I? Go deeper. Who am I? Now visualize a point of bright light above your head, remaining completely still and quieting all thoughts. Focus your attention on this point of bright light and remain there. Bring your attention back to your body. Bring your attention to your feet. Wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. We will now summarize the main points of this presentation. Our self-awareness is expanded by realizing through inner experience the divine essence that resides in all of us. Learning about it alone is not enough. It has to be experienced within. Through inner silence, we are able to focus our attention inwards and realize our divine nature. Inner silence is when the mind is completely at rest. The consciousness, like the body, needs complete rest in order to maintain its health and vitality. In the silence, we attune ourselves with the cosmic mind. Cosmic attunement is a pure channel for knowledge and truth, devoid of the delusions and colorings of the objective world. Cosmic attunement should be the primary responsibility of all students on the path. Taking time to be silent every day is very important. A minimal goal of once a day is recommended by H. Spencer Lewis. We must turn away from seeking our power from outside ourselves. We must turn our searching consciousness inwards and seek the inner light and intelligence. Silent meditation is the greatest asset that anyone can have in life, for it is a privilege to become one with the divine and divine consciousness. When we learn to go into the silence and attune effectively with the cosmic at least once a day, we will find that not only are many of our problems solved, but other problems are often prevented from coming into our lives. Thank you, Fratres and Soras.